I've had this strange feeling for about a week or so that I'm not doing enough. And it's been quite intense. And I feel like I haven't been fulfilled just in life in general. And it's certainly down to just not doing enough. Not doing enough. It's not enough to train every day. It's not enough to record my sessions, log my sessions, record an audio and post it on YouTube every day. It's not enough because I feel like for whatever reason I could do more. What is more? For now, all more can really be to me, or what I think it is creating more. This channel is a creation of my own. And it feels strange to say as somebody who has lived the majority of especially their adulthood life or young adulthood life, telling himself that he's not creative. This channel's made me realize that whilst it's not the most creative channel in the world, and it's helped me realize that you are creative. We are all creative. And it aligns with an idea that I've had for a little while now, since I read Conversations with God. And that idea is very simple. By our virtue to create as human beings, we are all gods. Our idea of God is simple, the creator of all things. As human beings, we have the capacity to create anything we can imagine. So therefore, we are gods. So it's time to stop telling myself that I'm not creative. It's time to stop telling myself I'm not great at this, I'm not great at that. And stop dimming my light, because I do that a lot. And I'm very grateful to a friend of mine at the gym who pointed that out to me today. I talk on here a lot about how my inner monologue, self-talk, whatever you want to call it, is very disciplined, because it's something I've practiced for a long time. I seldom find myself beating myself up, disrespecting myself, belittling myself in any capacity when having a conversation with myself in my own head. However, when talking to other people, in an attempt to be relatable, I dim my light. And anybody that's watched Coach Carter and knows the famous quote about dimming your light and how we should all shine as children do, and how dimming our light does not serve others. It's something that I really need to practice. And I look forward to practicing. I look forward to being far more conscious of it. Because it doesn't serve me and it doesn't serve anybody else to act that way. That you can think as much as you want. And you can think only things that serve you as much as you want. However, the level after thinking, you can't just think something into existence. There's 3 stages to manifesting something into existence, in my opinion. Those 3 stages are simple. Think it, see it, feel it, think it, smell it, everything in your mind. Second, speak it. You have to have the courage to speak where you believe you will be. Conor McGregor is a beautiful example of that. I'm Mystic Mac. Why was he able to coin himself Mystic Mac? Because he spoke fights into existence. 3, you have to take action. It's not enough to just sit there and think, I'm going to knock him out in the second round. It's not enough to just say, I'm going to knock him out in the second round. And whilst you cannot definitely and precisely determine exactly what's going to happen in any given moment, you can take action, i.e. train every single day. Dedicate every moment you can to knocking him out in the second round. Whilst I've been having this strange feeling of being unfulfilled in the past week or so, it wasn't until today that actions, behaviors, practices that I'd been taking and practicing unintentionally in the last, when I think back to it, it's been a long time. It's been a long time, at least 2 to 3 months. It's somewhat been on the back of my mind. Having reality been holding me back. And that is not something I want to do anymore. The words we speak, no matter how seemingly trivial, are spells. We learn to spell when we are young. Every word we utter out into the universe is us casting a spell. And I no longer want to dim my light in conversation with people. And it's somewhat frustrating that I kind of got myself here. However, I'm in no way, shape or form afraid of changing that and creating different behavior patterns, because I can see why I created this behavior pattern. I learned, I'm not too sure how long ago now, the importance of learning to be vulnerable in communication with other human beings. And to not be afraid to open up about fears or trauma, anything difficult. And I got really good at that due to my relationship with difficult things, due to the way my upbringing or my experiences from a young age. I found it very easy to open up to people, which subsequently made it very easy for people to open up to me. However, I found myself sway far too far left, and have found myself ending up almost being falsely vulnerable and in an attempt to be relatable, and being afraid of my own light and being afraid of letting it shine so bright that it makes people feel uncomfortable. And that doesn't serve us, and it doesn't serve the other person. It doesn't serve you to shrink yourself in an attempt to make somebody else feel bigger. Because if you just be truly who you are in that moment, then even if it does make them feel ever so slightly uncomfortable, it's on them to take stock and take confidence in the fact that, wow, this person's light shines so bright that it made me feel uncomfortable, yet I shared their presence. I allowed their light to shine on me, and therefore I am greater because of that. It's somewhat complicated and something that you can't necessarily expect everybody to adopt, because the harsh reality is there are some NPCs out here. But if nothing else, it's important for yourself. And betraying yourself is the worst form of betrayal, in my opinion. Betraying others, betraying yourself, they're both betrayal. It's betrayal nonetheless. But betrayal of oneself is the worst form. So they're two things that I'm working on. I'm going to work on. I'm going to change. Because in order to serve you guys, whoever may be listening to this now, I have to become more. Like, I have to, it's my duty to be as good as I can be the best version I can be. And a part of that right now is believing in myself a little bit more. Believing in what I've done. Believing in having faith, in what I can do. And believing in, I guess, humanity is a good way to put it. And trusting the people that I come into contact with to take confidence from me. Because one thing I've always said to my missus is that I have so much confidence that you can take it all, and I'll have more than enough for myself. So I need to believe that. I need to be that. Before I can do that, before I can have that, I just need to be it. Embrace it. If you made it this far, thank you very, very much. I'd like to end on a positive note. We got another PR today, baby. We got like 4 or 5 PRs. However, unfortunately, my storage got full and I didn't fucking check it. I was absolutely fuming. But long story short, we hit 120 on the bench. That is recorded. Thank fuck for that. However, obviously, I'm not counting what I lifted as a kid. We benched 105, 110, and 115 before benching the 120, all for 1 rep. However, the only proof I have is the 120. So, if you don't believe me, go eat a dick. Fuck you. Because if I can bench 120, I can bench 05, 10, and 15. But that was fun. That was fun. And that was the beginning of a lot of this thought process. Because I'm very reserved after a PR. I don't indulge in that emotion at all. And that's something we'll talk about another time. Because it's been long enough. You've given me enough of your time today. Have a great day. And I shall see you tomorrow.